Hey guys, it's Cody with Mainstream Corporation. Sometimes we get HERS reports here to look over and just kind of, we don't do them here at Mainstream, but we do use them for passive house certifications, both fee and FIAS. What I want to point out here is just, and I know this may sound subjective, it's not the bottom line, from passive house point of view is that we model things in Woofy Passive or PHPP, and then there's conferences that meet and kind of compare how accurate those are. And so it is sort of subjective because we have like a 7,000 square foot building here, and what's cool about this building is that it's actually has some passive house ness to it. Like the frame floor at an R59, that's very good. The foundation wall R29, we would probably see that at R40, so that's pretty good. The windows are a weak spot at energy star level of 0.29. That should be like a 0.17 area. The solar heat gain's just fine unless you wanted to bring in some more heat, and then you would want that a little higher than 0.21. The vaulted ceiling at R60 is a little bit wimpy for Breckenridge area, which is where it's at. Above walls at R40, we'd probably want to see that at R45-ish. So this is a strong envelope, bottom line. So I'm not surprised to see that it's got a low score of 36. However, if we're moving up, the air tightness at 1.73, that's sort of tight. I mean, that's getting to tight, but we would want to see anything lower than 1 ACH. And you probably can't get that level. If you have 7,000 square feet home, you probably have 4 or 5 bathrooms, and each of those has a hole in the wall. So we want to remove any of those types of penetrations. You can do that with Zender ERV technology and things. Speaking of which, ventilation is something that jumps out at me too, because for 7,000 square feet, it's only calling for 116 CFM. So it kind of goes, well, what is our objective with ventilation? And I believe it's human hygiene, and so that's why ASHRAE kind of came up with this formula of 1/3 air change per hour is good for hygiene. And so that's at 322 CFM alone. So if it's 15 CFM a person at our current rate, we're only ventilating like 7 people. So there's 7 rooms that are going to have breathing air, which means Christmas time, etc., etc. 2 people in a room, you're going to be breathing each other's air. So, and to capstone that a little further, in the commercial world, research is suggesting that we need 5 or 6 air changes per hour to prevent people from breathing each other's CO2. So kind of a big deal on the breathing air. Surprised to see that so low in such a big house. And then I have zero cooling load. And at the elevation and in the summer in Breckenridge, I'm surprised to see no cooling load, because I know a lot of people in the mountain homes in summertime wish that they had some cooling, before they go to bed in particular, because their buildings are western exposure at sunsets and just bakes them in the summer and sometimes in the winter too. So I know this sounds like a rant. I'm not trying to rant too much further, but on this energy total usage, so this is electric and gas obviously probably, or it's just electric, for 7,000 square feet we're suggesting a $250 a month utility bill. Maybe maybe it's probably going to be 350 to 400 with people using it and stuff. So a little subjectivity here and some good criticisms, but this is not maybe reflective of what I would think the load should be. So this is almost passive, but we're calling for like over 10 tons. So there might be some accuracy here for the Ekotrope folks to just make sure that is this an oversized system? I know Manual J would come in, but we don't use the full effects of the HERS reports, and they're very fantastic. We love them. Anyway, you guys have a great day.